This is the main event of the night. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Championship of the World.
In the red corner from Catskill, New York, representing region number 1, 15-year-old Mike Tyson.
1982, Mike Tyson a 15 ans. Il pèse déjà 95 kilos et dans ce tournoi national olympique junior où il vient défendre son titre acquis l'année précédente, il affronte Joe Cortez.
Joe Cortez is 13-4. So you would naturally expect the heavy hitting in this one, but we have seen some.
Début de combat explosif, jugé plus tôt.
Some earlier blows were more telling. Here we go.
Bombs away, Jimmy. Let's watch this carefully, because Tyson in the blue is a bomber. He's trained by no other than Cus D'Amato. And there it's all over.
8 secondes, il n'a fallu que 8 secondes à Mike Tyson pour remporter cette demi-finale. Mike Tyson a remporté ses 5 premiers combats par KO.
Mike Tyson, jeune boxeur, spontané, amateur. Il ne boxe que depuis 3 années simplement, mais déjà puncher.
Et en 8 secondes, donc, il bat Joe Cortez. C'est le KO le plus rapide de l'histoire de ce tournoi olympique junior.
And I broke all the records.
You tell me what you're going to do tomorrow.
I'm going to go in there, I'm going to jab to the head, then I'm going to throw 8 to the body, and then I'm going to move after I hit and punch the body.
What are you going to do when you get inside?
I'm going to open up like a son of a bitch. How you doing, Coach? Right on the chin. I'm going home and relax, son, because I don't want my head to swell any more than it is. Okay.
Great overhand right. Brown carries his left hand low. We'll see whether the two match up. There's the right hand.
There's the left.
A right-left combination.
He's got him in the corner. He's working on him. Right head goes up. He's going down.
Another right back to the body by Tyson.
Very, very strong boxer, Tyson. Very, very strong.
Brown has taken some vicious punishment and held on. He's really in there.
I don't think
There's another right by Tyson. Left right.
Nachdem ihm die Gegner im Amateurlager ausgingen, wurde Tyson 1985 Profi.
The beginning of
there, y'all. the heavyweight champion of the world. And his young fighter, 17 years of age, Mike Tyson. Today, he fought another young fighter, not a polished fighter, but a man of tremendous slugging ability and a man who showed some improvement as a boxer. You'll see all of this for yourselves when we take you to second-round action, exactly as I called it, between Mike Tyson and Henry Milligan of Princeton. All right, the bell for round two. Remember, heavyweights. Tyson to your left, just 17 years of age. Milligan, the Princetonian. Now to the left of your screen. And Sarah Fast quickly cautioning Tyson. Get them up. Get the lows up. Milligan can take a punch, though. I'll say that, regardless of what the Cuban did to him in Reno. Tyson appeared to me in the first round to be tired, just 17, having fought last night, and D'Amato has worked him lightly the last 2 weeks because of a back injury. Tyson is such a terrific puncher. It's smart for him to go to the belly as he began there with the right and then up with the left, because he can paralyze you with those blows to the belly. Kid is a bull. He's built exactly like a bull. There's no question about it. Milligan only slightly less so. Now Milligan showing some boxing. That's the instruction he got in the corner between rounds. Stay away from him. Use that left jab, double up on it, and then the right. That's exactly what the corner told him. Milligan has never showed the boxing skills to do that kind of thing, but right now he's doing well in the boxing sense. Second round action with 1:35 left to go in the round. Cautioning Tyson again. The crowd roars in disapproval. You saw Milligan trying to jab there. It was a pawing jab, but at least some kind of boxing style, and then he came in with a decent enough right. I can't believe that Milligan, well, he's not a good fighter. He was hurt right there, standing 8 count. That's the danger of fighting Tyson. You can get hit and go at any time. Because remember now, that counts for no more than a single cleanly scored blow. Tyson quickly with a right, Milligan in trouble. And this is the second standing 8 count. And suddenly the whole tide of affairs has changed. And it is young Tyson, the 17-year-old, who has drawn from within himself and shown his enormous striking power. Remember, under the rules, one more, that's it. Fight's over. And suddenly, from nowhere, all of the power I told you about. Young Tyson, Mike Tyson, trained by D'Amato. D'Amato says this young man is my reason for still living. I care about him. He is, in fact, my son. That's the way I view him. And so D'Amato, here in the arena, is going crazy over what his disciple has just done. This is the first standing 8. It was a right, as you saw, and quickly in to call it, properly so, Marco Sarafaz. What action in this, the second round. It was 2 minutes, 19 seconds as the referee stopped the contest. So the young man from Princeton, superbly skilled in academics and a brilliant all-around athlete, continues for whatever reason his quest to be a fighter, but that quest grows more and more questionable. This will be the final knockdown. There's the right lead again, holding on Milligan, and finally that right, short right, chopping uppercut, and boom, down went Milligan, and it was over. Referee stops contest, and young Mike Tyson moves ahead, winning his semifinal match in these, the 1984 Olympic trials. All right, back again in Fort Worth, Texas, and Cus D'Amato. One quick question, Cus. He's just 17. How good is he going to become?
I think he's going to be heavyweight champion of the world one day. Does he need a lot of work on his boxing skills?
Well, he needs a lot of experience, a lot of fights. He's only had, I believe, about 18 to 20 fights, most of which have ended in the early rounds. So it doesn't constitute a great deal of actual experience. He's far beyond his experience.
Were you worried during the course of the fight when suddenly Milligan was scoring with some evidence of boxing basics?
No, I wasn't worried because he wasn't hitting cleanly. I know he's a good puncher, but he wasn't hitting cleanly.
Mike, as I turn to you, my young friend, how do you feel about what you did today, and how far do you think you've come in your career?
I came a long way past. In 1 year, I progressed a great deal, just winning the National Golden Gloves, and now coming in the semifinals and planning to win the whole tournament. And about the fight, I was a bit rusty because I had a bad slight pinched nerve in my shoulder, and I wasn't sure, but I wanted to win the title so bad. I made myself heal, and now I came in, I'm having fun.
And now the dream is Olympic gold.
Yes.
Good luck to you,
Thank
Michael.
you very much.
It was just a stirring performance. Great comeback. And
now, the heavyweight final, 201-pound weight limitation. Mike Tyson, whom you've already met, against Henry Tillman. Quick further word about Tyson, just extraordinary punching power. The upper body strength evident as you merely look at him. The upper arms enormous. The boxing skills perhaps developing, but certainly relatively minimal at this point in time. After all, just 17, but a superb teacher in custom auto. Henry Tillman, on the other hand, is an experienced fighter with a good left jab. Does not have a lot of punching power for the size and weight, but he moves well for a heavyweight. Excellent foot movement, and in this fight, as we begin the action, Tyson will have, I think, some greater difficulty in reaching him, though he goes with that right lead right there, than he had against Milligan, the young man from Princeton University, whom he finally caught in the second round and did away with. First round action, and you see Tillman quickly moving on his toes. See that? Usually you get less and less movement as you get into the higher weights. And we saw very little movement in the Womack bout against his opponent, Benny Hurd. But here you're seeing Tillman move. The expectable strategy to avoid the thunderous power of Tyson. Third man in the ring in this bout is Jerry Dusenberry, another of the accomplished officials I've discussed. He will not, however, be one of the four going to L.A. to work. First round action. You've got to do for 3 sustained rounds what Tillman is doing right now to stay alive against this young man. That much can be said. An enormous puncher. He can paralyze you with a blow to the belly if he connects. Tillman well aware of that power, seeking to score with the left jab and get out of there. Move and keep scoring, as he did right there and right there. That's what Tyson wanted. He got him against the ropes, and down he went.
7, 8.
Says the young man will become the heavyweight champion of the world. Some laughed at him when he made that prediction about Floyd Patterson. As you've seen, the background awfully similar to Floyd. Different sections of the same borough, Brooklyn. So we have had one knockdown, and we're still in the first round, coming to the end of it. But remember, the knockdown in scoring counts for no more then a good clean jab, and Tillman's landed a lot of those. We're going to stay. We'll go to Mike Tyson in his corner. Getting a quick bat on the left ear from his handler, Kevin Rooney. Let me make it clear, Cus D'Amato does not work the corner. Cus is in his mid-70s now, and you heard the magnificent thing he said about Mike Tyson. He said, this young man motivates the continuance of my life. He's what I live for now. And you look at the replay, the right got in and then another right, and Tillman started to buckle, and the third right was what put him down between the bottom and middle strands of rope. The bell for round 2. Just keep the jab in his face, the handlers told Mike Tyson. Tillman quickly again on his toes, moving, usually to the left. When you see a big man move, inevitably you think back to the heavyweight like no other ever in history in terms of foot speed, and for that matter, hand speed. The name, Muhammad Ali. Had a prior experience in learning survival. He had been knocked down by DeWitt, the big Canadian heavyweight favored for the Olympic gold by many. He was knocked down, as I said, by DeWitt, but then came back. And in the next meeting and lost a toughie 3-2 to DeWitt. Watch closely. Tillman is fighting very cleverly in this round thus far, and effectively. He's scoring with that left. He's continually moving, and young Tyson, only 17, is having trouble deciphering. Well, Tillman right there. Scored 3 blows and then a 4th. And Mike relying on that wild lunging right. We're inside the final minute of the round. Tyson desperately trying to get to Tillman, having clawed him once in the first round. His aim for the referee to stop the contest. But he's got to score to do it. He's got to knock the opponent down to a point where he can't get up. He must rely on the knockout because Tillman is building up points very clearly in this round. Points by a huge margin, at least in my opinion. Counting down toward the end of round 2. Tillman has fought a very intelligent round, knowing the opponent's strengths and his vulnerabilities. The final round, it is conceivable that the bout could hinge on this round. Tyson scored his knockdown in the first round. That by itself wouldn't win the round for him. It was a close round. Second round was overwhelmingly Tillman. So, in the corner, they told Tyson, get him into a corner, get him against the ropes. You've got to have a big round. You've got to pour it on him. Easier said than done when you're against a more experienced fighter with much better foot movement. Still, there is that stunning power of young Tyson. But as I have mentioned several times, you go into a tournament like this, you must go in as a boxer. You can't just look for the knockout. There's Tillman flicking that left again. It is conceivable, based upon the box-off procedure that I described at the very top of our telecast, that these two could meet again on July 6th. It is conceivable. Remember, the most noteworthy opponent is selected by a duly appointed board. Coach Pat Nappy is one member and a very influential one of that board as Tillman keeps working the left. And Tyson has not been able to do what Kevin Rooney in his corner asked him to do. Get him against the ropes or get him in a corner and bang him. Yeah, right there he's trying. Tillman covering. Tyson has very little time left. He scored there, indeed. Crowd always looking for the knockout. Inside of 50 seconds now left to go. Tyson scoring there with a right. In the last 30 seconds, he is suddenly connected. Not once, but several times. But look, he keeps his distance from Tillman, and he'll never knock him out that way, as Tillman just keeps working the left, using the ring, covering well there, fighting back against Tyson's attempted onslaught. And we're near the end of the fight. So there will be no knockout by young Mike Tyson in this fight, though there was a first-round knockdown. The bell. And it should go to Tillman easily. In the meantime, don't forget this coming Saturday from the famed Wingfoot Golf Club in Mamaroneck, New York, maybe the most prestigious golf title of them all, the U.S. Open. And Jack Nicklaus, I am told, has shot 64 and 69 in 2 practice rounds. Be with us. The decision.
Henry Tillman.
Of course, exactly what you had to expect. After a tough first round that might have been given to Tyson, Tillman was clearly superior in the next 2 rounds. It was an unanimous decision, and the scoring was close in each and every judge's card. But it was unanimously and properly for Tillman. I said they might meet again in the box-off, so they might. Tyson continues to improve as a fighter. Coming up, super heavyweights Terrell Biggs against Payne will be Massachusetts. John Hollis from St. Louis, Marco Safaras from L.A., and Carmen Williamson from Toledo. The action begins. Quickly, Tillman goes to the familiar role. Steady movement. Try and use the jab and keep Tyson off you. He was knocked down in the first round, Tillman was, by Tyson in Fort Worth on June the 10th. Came back to win the fight. Someone in the crowd yelling, "Cut him off, Michael." You heard Tyson say that's exactly what he wants to do, plans to do, if he can do it. Tillman will keep using that jab, get it in there, score, and get out in a hurry, if he can. Very basic boxing there.
action. Thus far, it's been almost a replay of the first fight between the two, except that from nowhere, Tyson got to Tillman in the first round. One can see Tyson developing from fight to fight. As a boxer, I mean. No longer awkward, flat-footed. He's not fast, no question about that. He doesn't have the body to be fast. But he's not ponderous either. Coming to the end of round one. You watch Tyson fight, and there's an air of expectancy. When will he connect? And then what happens if he does? How is he at finishing a fight? Couldn't do it in the first fight. But he's got a succession of knockouts as an amateur. First round ends, we'll be back. You see Mike Tyson, the bell for the second round. Elmo Adolph, the referee. First round, I think, fought to Tillman's pace and plan. Very little scoring being done, really, by either fighter. Tillman not willing to take any chances. Tyson desperate to get in there. D'Amato feels that the amateur judges have not been fair to his fighter. He thought Tyson won the last time around against Tillman. He's entitled to his opinion, of course. But Tillman won a unanimous decision. And one is always very subjective about one's fighter. Is hardly setting a high mark in excitement. Give Tyson this. He's trying to force the action. Up there you saw Tillman get in a couple of blows and then out. This won't be too easy a fight to score either, unless something dramatic happens. All right, we go over to Mike Tyson's corner. Cus D'Amato, by the way, does not work the corner. Cus is 76 years old now. He's the legal guardian of that young man. And the young man is really his life. It's as simple as that. I don't know. He just doesn't seem to be up, mentally or physically. Maybe he'll be different in the ring. Round 3. Let's see what Tyson can do. aggressive. But a touch wild there. Elmo Adolph cautioning Tyson, as you saw. Back to the action. I'd like to seize a moment, if I may. Lou Knowledge, president of ABC News and Sports, had recent minor surgery, is recovering very swiftly, will be back on the job next week. And on behalf of his many minions posted everywhere, we should like to wish him very well indeed. Third and final round. A good right by Tyson. Finally, he got that in there. And Tillman felt it, and he will stay away. Didn't come until the third round. Tillman knows this is no time for him to make a mistake. However, Tillman has not fought nearly as effectively as he did in Fort Worth, I don't think. So little scoring by either party. Fight clearly forced in terms of aggressiveness, but that doesn't count in amateur boxing. Does count in professional boxing scoring. Aggressive. Counting down to the end of the fight. And Tyson would so like to get in there and score. Okay, that's it. We follow Mike Tyson to his corner, and I think he's got a better shot at winning this fight by far than he had the last time around. We'll be back with more coverage of the Olympic box-offs after this ABC promo and a word from our local stations.
The winner in the heavyweight division and an established member of the 1984 Olympic team from Los Angeles, California, in the red corner, Henry Tillman.
So they gave it to Henry Tillman, obviously on the basis of more apparent style and class. The aggressor was Mike Tyson, but as I explained, aggressiveness in amateur boxing is not rewarded with points. What is rewarded with points? That's what I meant earlier in the evening when I said defense can be as important.
boxeur inconnu. Vous allez le redécouvrir. Il est toujours aussi grand, mais un petit peu plus lourd. C'est Kelton Brown que Mike Tyson. 1984, Mike Tyson ne rencontre pas un boxeur inconnu. Vous allez le redécouvrir. Il est toujours aussi grand, mais un petit peu plus lourd. C'est Kelton Brown que Mike Tyson a battu en 1982 lors du tournoi national olympique junior. L'un des tout derniers combats amateurs de Mike Tyson.
Oui, on s'aperçoit que Tyson a progressé, qu'il a pris du métier, de l'assurance.
Kelton Brown weighing in at 201 pounds.
Voilà, c'est bien, pression, se rapproche, frappe au corps, frappe à la face. Et la grande force de Tyson, c'est la rapidité d'exécution, c'est le travail au corps, c'est le travail à la face, c'est l'efficacité.
Kelton Brown n'a pas réussi à donner le moindre coup. Comptez une première fois.
Ah oui, il est bousculé dans les cordes, il n'arrive plus à tenir son adversaire à distance.
Et la corde, elle, n'a pas tenu.
Ouais, l'incident est le bienvenu. Ça va lui permettre de récupérer un petit peu.
Voilà, on est en place.
Plus d'assurance, plus... Ah oui.
Un coup bas de Mike Tyson.
Ouais, involontaire dans son enchaînement.
Et pourtant, Kelton Brown est tout de même compté.
In the meantime, Tyson is signaling to his friends in the crowd. He hits like sledgehammers.
L'expérience est plus grande, c'est la 5e année que Tyson pratique la boxe en compétition.
Caution to Michael Tyson.
Encore de terribles coups enchaînés au corps et à la face.
Une boxe variée. On le voit de percut, crochet, direct.
Brown continues to stand, I don't know.
À une situation où il se retrouvera souvent pendant sa carrière. Ses adversaires, dès qu'ils le peuvent, voilà, le paralysent, sachant qu'il va très vite.
Kelton Brown ne pense pas à frapper, il pense surtout et avant tout à se protéger. Pris de vitesse.
Excellent travail au corps.
Et Kelton Brown arrêté par l'arbitre. Il valait mieux stopper Mike Tyson, de nouveau vainqueur.
The official had seen enough.
Nouvelle démonstration de Mike Tyson.
Serein. Voilà, au ralenti. Décrocher l'enchaînement et le genou.
De Kelton Brown.
Oui, ça veut dire panique.
Et nouvelle victoire de Mike Tyson chez les amateurs. Mike Tyson qui aura remporté 48 succès sur ses 54 combats disputés donc chez les amateurs, 6 défaites seulement. Alors Jean-Claude, le bilan de cette carrière de Mike Tyson?
Elle est honnête, cette carrière amateur. Mais les titres les plus importants lui ont échappé. Le titre de champion olympique et le titre de champion du monde amateur.
And so Tyson adds the 84 Junior Amateur Championships to the 84 Golden Gloves as he wins at the over 201-pound weight.
Fin de la carrière amateur de Mike Tyson et les grands débuts désormais de Iron.
You know, Angelo Dundee or, Ray Arcel or Eddie Fudge to see, hey, we had something we could work with here if we could teach them.
Let's flash forward, March 6th, 1985. the professional debut of Mike Tyson against Hector Mercedes. Bert, when's the first time you saw Mike Tyson?
Well, I did not see this fight, but Bill Caton, his co-manager at the time, would be sending out film clips on DVD every 8 seconds. So I plug it in, and I'm watching this kid with a butcher block body just beating the bejabbers out of people in a wham bam thank you ma'am fashion. So yes, I'm watching his first 4 or 5 fights, but I got him in a total DVD clip.
Mm-hmm. Teddy, how much was natural with Tyson? How much was he taught? Because we can see here already his punches are crisp, short, tight. How much was natural? How much was taught in Catskill?
You know, Brian, that's a great question. Because the story I just told when I saw him the first time and he got the bloody nose, I remember I thought back afterwards and I said, gee, 2-3 years went by, he never got another bloody nose. So he wasn't a natural. If he was a natural, he never would have got a bloody nose. Mm-hmm. He wouldn't have got hit with those punches. I remember all the people.
Even Robert Redford bled.
Yeah, but we're talking about a fighter here. And all the people would say, boy, this guy's a natural. But it was a natural.
April 10th, 1985, Trent Singleton. Now, don't blink. This is going to be fast. I think like a 3-punch combination here, Teddy. Blinding speed, body, head. I mean, it's incredible to watch these early tapes. No matter what the opposition is, this is impressive at his age.
Did you see the speed in his, as you call it, audition? Did you see that speed?
Yeah, we did. We saw that he was a guy at 12 years old that was strong as hell, but he had quick hands. You could see that. But he was raw, and he didn't have the technique. He didn't couple up with the technique. And without the technique, and I'm not in any way trying to, boast of myself. I'm just saying if he didn't wind up in Catskill, with what he had and with what he didn't have, with the flaws that would show themselves later on, I don't think with all that power he would have been world champion. The technique that he learned to use that ability was very, very important in his career.
Tyson's first 2 opponents were reliable losers and gave him a chance to develop his confidence in the ring. His third fight against Don Halpin, a more experienced boxer, was his first real challenge.
Yep, 2 fights, 2 wins for Mike Tyson. We're back in Albany. We're back for opponent number 3. 23rd of May, 1985. Hard to believe Tyson's debut was just the 6th of March. He hasn't really crammed in hardly 6 minutes of fight action into his pro career so far. I wonder whether Don Halpin is going to extend Mike Tyson where Hector Mercedes and Trent Singleton have failed to do so. This is one formidable young man, Mike Tyson. Many felt that it should have been him and not Henry Tillman to go to the Los Angeles Olympics last year. But it was Tillman, won fair and square, beat Tyson not once but twice. He won the gold medal. Interesting to note that Tillman won the heavyweight gold, whereas Mike Tyson, of course, might have had some ambitions had he been a bit of a bigger guy, because he's not a big heavyweight. The super heavyweight gold at LA last year went to Tyrell Biggs. Tyson, let's get this in perspective. Forget what the press releases say. He's only 5'10". Some would have you believe he's 6 foot. He's 5'10". He is not a big heavyweight. He's only a kid. Yes, he is going to fill out. But it'll be interesting to see how he fills out. Already, if you look at him close up, there are great slabs of muscle on him. So, well, we will have to see whether he fulfills the promise that he has shown in his only 2 professional fights. In the blue tracksuit top there, incidentally, with USA on the back. That's his trainer, Kevin Rooney, who was a pretty decent welterweight in his day. Referee just giving them a little briefing. Don Halpin trying to give Tyson the eye, and I am glad. I tell you, I am glad I am this side of the ropes and not that side of the ropes, because Tyson looks mean, he looks menacing in the white trunks with a little green trim. Don Halpin, who has got a record of 9 wins and 18 losses in a 27-fight career. Significantly, not one of those 9 wins has been inside the distance, so he is not going to hurt Tyson. Can he survive? Tyson, we know from what we've seen so far, he is not a fighter who throws a lot of jabs. He likes to work in close, just puts out a little left feeler and then comes in swinging behind that. Halpin nicely tucked up, good technique. these body shots, they hurt. Trust me, they hurt. It's very rare that you will see a fighter stop with a single body shot. What they do is they sap your strength. They will wear you down in later rounds. That was a little bit near the borderline. Tyson gets away with it. You will note he's an orthodox fighter, Tyson. Left hand, left foot forward, as indeed is Halpin. It's probably asking a bit much in a young fighter's fledgling professional career to put it with a southpaw just yet. That'll come, that'll come. Already we're seeing a different side of Mike Tyson tonight. It's almost as if his corner have said to him, listen, you don't have to win every fight inside one round. Feel this guy out. This guy, professional fighter, Don Halpin, experienced 27 fights. Tyson has had just the 2. So feel this man out. Give him a little bit of respect. Probe for his weaknesses. Find out what his weaknesses are. When you found out what those weaknesses are, then you can exploit them. Tyson, notably slower. Just hark your mind back to those fights we saw just a few moments ago against Mercedes and Singleton. Tyson exploded out of his corner for those 2 fights. This, a much more calm, a much more measured approach from this young man. Originally from New York City, now fighting out of the Catskills, where his mentor and father figure, Cus D'Amato, has been raising him in the fistic arts. It looks as though, you know, that Halpin's going to get through a round. I hope I'm not going to eat my words. Tyson down on his heels. We saw him up on his toes in the opening round, first couple of fights. It's almost as if, as I said a moment or so ago, that his corner have told him, just extend this a little bit. Don't be in a rush to finish. And this is good opening round. Good opening round for both boys. Halpin, to his credit, he's come to fight. He's testing Tyson out. Got through with 1 or 2 good jabs. I still think Tyson is winning the round on the sheer volume of punches throwing. But Halpin, he's no mug. Good first round. Round 2 of the 3rd professional fight of Mike Tyson's career. Mike Tyson in the white trunks in the left-hand corner nearest us. We're in Albany in upstate New York. It's the 23rd of May 1985. Take your eyes off the ring card, girl. Watch the fight. We've had a good first round between Mike Tyson and his 3rd pro opponent, Don Halpin. And all the more applause and praise for Halpin in that he has succeeded where the first 2 Tyson opponents, Hector Mercedes and Trent Singleton, failed, in that he has heard the bell for the end of round 1. Neither of those 2 gentlemen did. And it remains to be seen just how much Don Halpin, who's an experienced pro, having his 28th fight tonight, it'll be interesting to see just how far he can extend Mike Tyson. Great things expected of Tyson. Cus D'Amato, who, if you're a fight fan, will know was the guiding light behind the career of former world heavyweight champion Floyd Patterson. You will know that when D'Amato says this man can be a world beater, you've got to listen to it, you've got to respect it. But it's D'Amato will have seen things sparring that we haven't seen in Tyson's professional career, because we haven't had a chance to see yet exactly what he's capable of doing. We can see he's a superbly conditioned athlete. Well, that's down to Kevin Rooney and the gym work. We know that he's a good short puncher. We haven't really seen him throw a jab worthy of the name yet. But then again, the perfect heavyweight has yet to be born. I remember once the great Eddie Futch, trainer of Joe Frazier, sitting me down and telling me what Muhammad Ali's weaknesses were. And I was a fellow who thought Muhammad Ali didn't have any weaknesses until Eddie Futch told me. And when Eddie Futch had explained it to me, and you watched Ali next time, you realised the truth of what he was saying. So the perfect heavyweight has not been born, but maybe Mike Tyson might be, because that was a jolting little left hook that shook Halpin right down to his heels. He backs up, tries to hold. Tyson clubs him off again with the left. Now this is going to be a real test for Don Halpin. He definitely was hurt there. Looks apprehensively at Tyson over his shoulder. Plods gamely forward. Tyson just jinking side to side. Good upper body work from Tyson. Looking for the opening. Fires out a jab. Misses. But again, these little hooks of his rarely do. Going back to what I was saying about Ali. Never missed with a jab, but was not that good, strangely enough, fighting inside. Now, Tyson is almost the mirror image of that. Haven't seen him jab effectively yet, but boy, when he gets within close range, you better watch out, because he is a bit good. And he's starting to get through to Halpin now, and he's starting to hurt him. Leading with the right, just switching to southpaw there for a minute. Leading with the right hand, right foot forward. Good right hand again from Tyson. Hasn't quite got his range yet as the youngster. Far cry from those early days in Brooklyn. When he was a kid, by his own admission, he was a bundle of trouble waiting to happen. And who knows what would have happened if Customado hadn't picked him up and taken him under his wing. Let's not dwell on that. Let's dwell on the positive. Let's dwell on the fact that we just might be seeing a man who could go on to great things in this heavyweight division. End of the second. Tyson glares at Halpin. Halpin, he's having none of it. Ignores him. Walks back to his corner. Tyson almost affronted that Halpin had managed to go 2 rounds. Round 3 now of this scheduled 6-rounder in Albany and upstate New York. Mike Tyson in the white. Don Halpin in the blue with the white trim. 2 completed rounds. Tyson has taken them both quite easily. But Halpin has posed in the sort of thought-provoking opposition that Hector Mercedes and Trent Singleton, the opening 2 opponents who folded inside around, the pair of them haven't managed to do. And maybe Kevin Rooney in the Tyson corner has said, well, okay, you've worked this man out. Open up a little bit now. Halpin, a little rueful grin. Snakes out a right. You saw Tyson's head go back there. Score 1, Halpin. Once again, Tyson switched to southpaw. Back to orthodox now. Now that's a sign of supreme confidence, isn't it? A young man in only his 3rd pro fight, effortlessly switching between orthodox and southpaw. Again, fighting out of the southpaw stance. I think this is really just to see if he can, against an opponent who, as I've already said, is not going to hurt him. Halpin has never stopped anybody. I'm not even sure whether he's ever decked anybody. So he's not going to hurt Tyson. So Tyson can use this experience to just try out a couple of new moves, because there's a big difference between the gym and the ring, as any pro will tell you. And he hurt Halpin there. He backs him up against the ropes. The more experienced man holds on, the ref having none of it, pulls him apart. And every now and then, when Tyson gets through with a shot, he really shakes Don Halpin. And you can sense that Tyson maybe now is looking for the one big shot. Tyson himself just holds on. He's backed up himself on the ropes, turns him well. Halpin, wily old pro, the chin tucked down, but he gets clipped with a right hand then. He will not be able, I tell you, to take too many of those. Tyson now starting to double up, hooking off that jab, again fighting out of the southpaw stance, which he's favouring increasingly more in this fight. Maybe he's realised that Halpin doesn't like it when he comes at him southpaw fashion. Crowd, unlike the first couple of fights, pretty quiet, reacting to the good punch, but absorbed like I am, really, because, to be quite honest, having seen 2 one-round wins, I'd expected this to follow suit. I'd expected Don Halpin to be another sacrificial victim. Not to be. 3 rounds he's gone. Well, I don't think there can be too many doubts that Tyson has won all 3 rounds. And I would think that Kevin Rooney there in the blue tracksuit top is pretty satisfied with what he's seen. Tyson, in case it needs any saying, has never been remotely troubled at number 4. Has got a slight problem. Great cheer, biggest cheers of the night, as the ring-card girl straightens it out. And fight fans are the same the world over. Show them pretty girl. Pretty girl gets the cheers. And the fighters, for the moment, are forgotten. Well, in the Halpin corner, they might, you never know, be harbouring thoughts of him being the first man to take Mike Tyson the full distance. Would be a first, wouldn't it? Round 4, then. Oh, good short. That's a short sneak right. Halpin's head jerked back. Now, Tyson has switched back to orthodox for this round. He's maybe had enough of playing around with southpaw. Maybe it was just a little vanity exercise. Maybe Kevin Rooney has said to him, "Okay, boy, you've had your fun. Now time for business." Well, this is a much slower and much more measured Mike Tyson in Albany tonight. Good right hand, Halpin down. You, behind the camera, have the most perfect view of that. Only difference is you saw the punch, Don Halpin didn't. Mandatory 8 early in the 4th. Can Tyson finish this? I think so. I think so. That's enough. Now that last right-hander, that was questionable. Tyson celebrates. I didn't like to see that because Halpin was down and the back of his head snapped against the rope, and that could have been very dangerous. He's still a little bit dazed, is Don Halpin. Well, Tyson won. It was the manner of his victory, that one last right-hander, and they're keeping Halpin. Now, this I don't like to see. This is a little bit worrying. Halpin took one punch too many. The referee, I don't think he could have done much more than he did, to be quite honest with you. And I'm sure we'll see a replay in a minute. Yeah, here we go. Now, this is the punch, the left hook that drives him across the ring. The fight was over then. Bang! That was the punch that caused all the damage. And the referee looked admonishingly at Tyson. I think he had stopped the fight by that point. It was the left hook, right hook combination that had finished it. Halpin was out on his feet at that point. If the ropes hadn't interrupted him, he would have been on the canvas. And that one extra right hook from Tyson, unnecessary, didn't like to see that. Got away with it. And I'm sorry to have to tell you, we're looking at Tyson here, I'm sorry to have to tell you that Don Halpin is still down on the canvas. Now, they will be keeping him down just as a precaution. The worst thing when a fighter gets knocked out badly, the worst thing you can do is try and get him back on his feet quickly. And these are experienced cornermen, experienced ringside medical officials, and they will be just slowly, gently bringing Don Halpin round in his own time. We haven't as yet, thankfully, seen any call for a stretcher, and Tyson now looking a little concerned, maybe trying to justify why he threw that last right-hander. The statistics will show that it was a 4th round knockout, and he's a little bit concerned, sort of shaking hands with Halpin's cornerman. The cornerman may be remonstrating a little bit with Mike Tyson there. The Halpin corner not happy. The crowd, as you would expect, subdued. No fight crowd anywhere in the world likes to see this sort of thing. As I was saying, it will go round, it will go down in the records as Tyson's 3rd straight win. But the manner of the win, well, maybe a question mark over it.
Introducing Mike Tyson. I want a good, clean, hard fight.
From the moment Mike Tyson entered the ring, his challengers were carefully chosen to mold a path that would allow the youngster to learn and develop as a boxer. His debut opponents were reliable losers, and his talent immediately demanded a bigger challenge. Fight number 4 was against Ricardo Spain.
I got soul, and I'm super bad.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, man your battle stations. This bout is in the heavyweight division, scheduled for 6 rounds. The referee for this contest is Joe O'Neill. And now introducing first in the red corner. He's wearing the white trunks with green trim and weighs 217 pounds even. From Catskill, New York, he is undefeated in 3 professional bouts, all victories, all knockouts. Ladies and gentlemen, a big hand for Mike Tyson. And his opponent in the blue corner. He's wearing the black trunks with white stripe and weighs 184 1/4 pounds. From Columbus, Ohio. He's also undefeated 7 in a row, 5 by knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, Rick the Ram Spain.
Gentlemen, you're fighting in the state of New Jersey. There's a 3 knockdown rule at my discretion. There's a mandatory 8 count. There's a standing 8 count. When I tell you to break, I want you to protect yourself and step back at all times. The bell only saves you in the last round. Any questions? Yes, sir. Shake hands, come out boxing. Good luck, gentlemen.
Mike Tyson's 4th fight. First fight in front of a big-time audience, though. This time not in Albany, but in the Atlantic City Resorts International. This man, Ricardo Spain, he's having only his 2nd pro fight. 1 fight, 1 win. Mike Tyson, 3 fights, 3 wins, 2 inside a round. And the last one against Don Halpin went all of 4 rounds. And Tyson, we've already seen in his brief pro career, hits like a steam hammer. As Ricardo Spain has already found out, boy, that was quick. Boy, that was fast. Boy, that was hard. And the ref takes a very clean look at the eyes. The eyes of the giveaway. Oh, left, the legs have gone. This is all over. Yes, it is. I don't believe it. That's well inside a minute. Spain can't believe it. Tyson absolutely destroyed him there. Well, we wondered, didn't we, when we saw the Halpin fight, can it be just a month ago in May in Albany? Tyson was relaxed, subdued almost, took his time, 4 rounds. This time, wow, brother. The little combination there, that was the first knockdown. The right hand was the one that finished it. And this young man is signifying evil intent in the heavyweight division. And in front of this audience in Atlantic City, this, I promise you, is going to make 1 or 2 really stand and take notice. The left hook, the power was astonishing. The legs just went every which way. 4 fights, 4 wins for Mike Tyson.
On July 11th, 1985, Tyson had his 5th professional fight against John Alderson. They were both undefeated and had almost identical records.
Well, we're ready to get going for fighting here. Mike Tyson, Big John Alderson. Let's meet the officials that will be handling the fight at ringside and meet the combatants with our ring announcer, Michael Buffer.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Trump Casino Hotel on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, let's get ready to rumble. This is in the heavyweight division, scheduled for 6 rounds, and something's got to give. They're both undefeated. The referee for this bout is Frank Cappuccino. Introducing first in the red corner, wearing the red trunks with white trim, weighing 226 1/2 pounds, from Cabin Creek, West Virginia, his professional record, 4 consecutive victories, all by knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, John Alderson. And his opponent in the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with red, white, and blue trim, and weighing in at 215 pounds even, from Catskill, New York. His professional record, also 4 consecutive victories, all by knockout. Introducing Mike Tyson.
He'll be the popular one tonight as Frank Chappachino talks to him.
I want you to understand one thing. I want a good, clean, hard fight. Any low blows, any thumbing, heeling, butting, the holding and hitting will cost you the round. And if I have to go further, I'll do that also. In the event of a knockdown, the man standing, go to the farthest neutral corner, stay there until I call him back. Okay? When I say break, I want you to protect yourself at all times, and you step back clean. Both of you understand that. Both of you touch gloves. Good luck.
Well, the folks back in West Virginia may not recognize this man without his miner's hat. He's come out of the mines to fight. He won May 31st, a second-round knockout over George Mayweather. And his opponent also with a 1-round, as a matter of fact, 39-second fight against Rick Spain here in Atlantic City on June 20th. That's Tyson. Tyson in the white with a red stripe, solid red trunks. With the white stripe will be John Alderson. Alderson, a tremendous height advantage. Al, how much will that play a factor in tonight's fight?
Well, he has got to keep Tyson off him. Use the jab, the straight right hand. And Mike Tyson gets inside very effectively. It's one of the things he does. So, and he'll go to the body once he gets there. So I don't know if the height in itself will be a big edge for Alderson.
Alderson said if he does get inside, look for me to tie him up. I'm not going to try to rumble with him in there.
I don't blame him.
So Frank Cappuccino will have a busy night tonight, and this 6-rounder may not last very long with the kind of shots there. A left hook right to the face that time of Alderson.
That was a strange punch, but Tyson is so powerful. No matter how he delivers those punches, they hurt. For every punch Tyson throws is meant to knock you out. Now, as he gets on against tough competition, the question is, when he comes in like this, will he get nailed with counter shots? That's really what Alderson wants to do.
Tyson, you heard documented, of course, the young man fighting and fighting very well, amateur 25-2. A boxing historian, reads book after book of boxing and watches all historic films of the greats.
He's got an edge. His manager, Jimmy Jacobs, has the largest fight film collection in the world, so he can look at all those. He does look at all the former heavyweight champs. And of course, he's a long way from being that, but he's such raw talent at his age, you can't help but think about it.
How much pressure and how much can a 19-year-old take putting the pressure on to be the youngest champion in the world?
Well, of course, that's them talking. That's Customato and Tyson making these bold predictions, and they put pressure on themselves. Now, Tyson switches to southpaw. I haven't seen him do that before.
Interesting. Lands with a lead left. Alderson is already bleeding from the nose, and I think that was from the very first left hand. Tyson, you can see almost like a bull as he just chases Alderson around the ring. Big John said he had to get off first tonight. He has got to use those long arms to his advantage. He has not been able to do so far in round one.
You know, when Tyson switches to southpaw, I think that's the clue for Alderson with that long reach and height to throw the straight right hand. I would just let that punch go.
Alderson, a very good amateur record, 154-12. Took 3 years off from boxing, however. Worked in the mines in West Virginia. They started the laying off down there, and he went back into the boxing ring. And here he is at 4-0 with 4 knockouts.
And already he's had a rugged first round. For Alderson, I think the key, he has got to throw that jab and follow with the straight right. Has done that only once and did land the right, although it didn't hurt Tyson. There it is. Now that right missed, but if he keeps doing that, he's going to give Mike Tyson something to think about as he comes in. There it is again, and he landed the right.
At least to keep him from lunging at him with the big hands that he's throwing so far.
That's exactly right, Sam.
So the closing seconds of round number one. Mike Tyson, the shorter of the two, against Big John Alderson.
Mike Tyson delivers punches often in a very awkward fashion. Look at this left hand. That was a jab, but boy, he was off balance when he threw it. Still had a lot of power against Alderson.
This is round number two of a scheduled 6-rounder heavyweights. Mike Tyson in the white trunks, Big John Alderson in the red. Alderson hailing from Cabin Creek, West Virginia, the home of the great basketball player, former Los Angeles Laker Jerry West. Alderson, as a matter of fact, plays basketball and softball just to stay in shape right now. I'd take him as the center of my ball club.
Yeah, I think so. Muscle underneath. Now, Tyson, they told him to go to the body, and he's trying to do that in this round. But Mike hasn't been that busy when he gets on the inside. Good uppercut by Tyson.
Alderson, you saw there, tried to lead in with a left jab and a right hand, but left himself wide open for the ducking Mike Tyson as he went right underneath.
Mike Tyson doesn't wear any socks. I don't remember seeing a fighter in a long time that doesn't wear any socks. Or if he does, they're so short they don't even peek out over his shoes. I don't know what that's apropos of. It's the first time I've ever seen it, and it's kind of odd. Now there's the right. Oh, good countering right hand, and that stunned Alderman.
He backs up another right hand, a combination by Tyson, and he goes on the attack.
On the inside, Tyson is just ferocious. He throws those good, short, quick punches.
The longest fight Tyson has ever been in has been a 4-rounder. He got a knockout there. His other 3 fights were first-round knockouts. Dan Halpin, I guess, is the only man, and this one may not go much longer, as a crushing right hand sends Alderson down. He's got a terrible cut over the left eye already. Frank Cappuccino right down in his face. He's going to make the count at 8. But that cut just on the outside of the left eye starts to ooze some blood now, and Tyson goes right back in on top of it. Tyson trying for his 5th straight knockout. Alderson weary on his feet, ready to go at any time.
He's just trying to survive now. He's got to throw something out, though. He's laying in with Tyson. Frank may stop this fight.
Ruling that as a slip, not a knockdown. Alderson peeking in over that swelling left eye, and here comes Tyson. Alderson throwing a right hand, no effect. Left hand that time, sends him reeling against the ropes. He's almost virtually out on his feet right now, 29 years of age. Again, as I pointed out at the top of the show, that in itself could prove to be some difference in this fight, if nothing else.
You know, Tyson looked at Cappuccino a moment ago as if, do you want to stop this?
There he goes right back to work on that left eye as Alderson stays on his feet. Try to gamely throw a right hand as you see the closing moments of the second round here. Alderson down in this round, may survive as he goes down again at the bell. He's got to get up. Now, a fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round with the exception of the last, so he must come to his feet at the ruling of the referee says okay. He is, and he goes into his corner. But if he comes out to answer this bell, it'll be a gutty performance by Big John Alderson.
Here's his mouthpiece. Here's his mouthpiece. Here. Here's his mouthpiece. Look, why don't you just come back and fight another one? Huh? Okay.
So you heard the suggestion of the doctors leaning in. Why don't you just come back and fight another day? Frank Cappuccino has not given us a word yet that this one is over, but he may very shortly here.
John, church is out. The fight's over.
The fight is over, rather interestingly put by Frank Cappuccino, as this one ends officially a TKO in the second round by Mike Tyson. So Tyson goes 5-0 with all 5 knockouts, and it was a devastating second round that proved to be the difference.
Those short right hands. Now, what happened is Alderman tried to throw the right hand continually, but what happened was Tyson learned how to counter it with his own right. And there's a good straight right hand by Mike Tyson. That sent Alderson down, and that was the first knockdown, I believe. And there's a happy Mike Tyson.
You know, Al, you almost, as you pointed out, Mike kept looking to Frank Cappuccino saying, hey, this guy's not in real good shape. I can go ahead and keep hitting him. But indeed he did till the end of the round. Again, Alderson down at the end of the round. He had to clear the canvas by the count, obviously beat the count. Not saved by the bell. He does. And finally the doctors lean in and say, that's it, and Frank Cappuccino calls it off at the end of 2.
It was a very typical Tyson performance. However, you know what? It showed both the good and the bad at this point of Tyson, because I think it showed that a good stand-up boxer with a good jab and a good straight right hand will land against him. Whether he'll hurt him, I don't know. But as you look at that young man, for 19, you have to like the strength and aggressiveness he has.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Frank Cappuccino stops the bout at the end of the second round. The winner by technical knockout, still undefeated, 5 in a row, all by KO, Mike Tyson.
Well, Tyson, it looks like he may have just had a walk in the park rather than a fight tonight with Big John Alderson. Here at the Trump Casino Hotel in Atlantic City, got to see Mike Tyson work a little longer than he did his last fight that went only 39 seconds. Gets a second round TKO, and he visits with Al Bernstein in the ring. Al?
Well, Mike Tyson, it was a performance in which you showed, I thought, the power that we know you have and the aggression, but also maybe walked into a couple more right hands than you'd like.
Well, the right hands that I walked into wasn't catching me solidly. They were grazing right hands, which I'm very peculiar when the right hand comes. Excellent. The right hands are mostly never effective on catching me because I'm always slipping with them, and I'm on an angle which the points go diagonally forward.
Okay, let's take a look at the last knockdown when you sent him down, and you can comment on it for us. Well, it's rolling a little bit in our monitor, but basically you really had a lot of power and you were nailing him with short punches.
I was nailing with punches because I saw he was more accepted to the right hand because he was leaning on his right hand side, and more acceptable to right hand. I felt a little funny. I wasn't right. I wasn't Mike Tyson that you saw earlier in the past because of the star buildup. It was a little intimidating.
Is all that getting to you a bit? Now, you've placed a lot of pressure on yourself. You and Customato, he's stated flatly he thinks you're going to be the youngest heavyweight champion, the greatest heavyweight champion. What does all that do to your mental frame of mind?
Well, I don't look at it that way because deep inside, when I'm not involved with boxing, I'm just a 19-year-old kid. And when I'm in the ring, then that's when I take care of business. Today was more difficult, a rugged performance because of the man's height, and he wasn't there to fight. He was there to try to last. He wasn't there really to fight, and he was running, and it made it more difficult because he was only there to survive.
All right, well, Mike, congratulations. You got the win. That's the key.
Excuse me, I would like to say happy birthday to my friend Diane Irvis. God bless you, and hope to have many more birthdays.
All right, you gave her a little birthday present.
Tyson's sixth bout against Larry Sims on the 19th July 1985 resulted in another knockout for his glowing record. The 19-year-old fighter's frantic schedule was set by manager Jimmy Jacobs, and less than a month later he was back in the ring, ready for fight number 7 against Lorenzo Kennedy.
Mostly as soon as the fight starts, I'm in the dressing room, I'm coming towards. I basically think I'm staying relaxed. I've been doing this for 5 years, and I put in so much time, and I mostly think about what I'm going to do. Pop my jab, move my head, and be fast, and think about the display of damage that I'm going to give to the opponent.
And he has brought a lot of damage to his opponents in his short professional career, which began on March 6th of this year. He is 6-0 with 6 knockouts. The longest any fight has gone is 4 rounds. He has 3 first-round knockouts. We are set for the introduction. So is Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, man your battle stations. In the ring at this time, we have undefeated heavyweights. This bout is scheduled for 6 rounds. The referee is Joe Cortez. Introducing first in the red corner. He's wearing the white trunks with green trim and weighs 214.5 pounds. He's from Catskill, New York. Undefeated in 6 consecutive bouts, all by knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Tyson. And his opponent in the blue corner. He's wearing the blue trunks with white trim and weighs 203.5 pounds from the Motor City, Detroit, Michigan. He is also undefeated in 3 consecutive bouts with a knockout victory to his credit. Introducing Lorenzo Kennedy.
Both familiar with the New Jersey Athletic Commission rules. I'm here to enforce them. When I say break, I want you both to break clean. If there's a knockdown, the fighter scoring a knockdown, let's go to the farthest neutral corner, remain until they come out. Fighter going down, let's take the mandatory 8 count. I don't want any rough tactics, and I don't want any fouling or hitting on the break. Understood? All right, shake hands, protect yourselves at all times.
Mike Tyson, last fight was July 19th when he knocked out Larry Sims in Poughkeepsie, New York in the 3rd round. Lorenzo Kennedy, last fight, a 6-round decision victory on July 25th in Birmingham, Michigan over Vernon Bridges. And look at Tyson go right after Kennedy. Now, Kennedy is a boxer, but gets knocked down with the first left hook he takes. Look at the power already from Mike Tyson. Mandatory 8 count. 7. Given by Joe Cortez. Kennedy, little shaky now, takes a right hand. This one could end in a hurry. Kennedy in serious trouble.
Now, this is the prototype of Mike Tyson's fights. He comes right at you, and boy, he is blazing when he comes out.
He's intimidating. When you see big Mike Tyson come for you, you better head in the other direction in a hurry. Right hand glances off the chin, but it rocked Kennedy. The left hook does it the same.
Kennedy's hands are really very low, and Tyson, you have to like how poised he is right here. He is picking his shots well. He is hurting.
This one could be over. It is. Joe Cortez stops it.
Perfect timing by Joe Cortez. That was right, when he saw that last right hand land, he could just feel the fact that Kennedy would be sagging to the canvas. Boy, Mike Tyson is powerful, huh?
Oh, wow. Mike Tyson, he barely built up a sweat. But you know he was warm and ready. He came out fired up. It is 7-0 with 7 knockouts. Lorenzo Kennedy's first loss, he looks like he's okay, being checked out by the doctors. As Al said, he was sagging against the ropes. He was in serious trouble, taking the punishment, and Joe Cortez quickly stepping in and stopping the fight, knowing there's no sense in giving him a standing 8 count or anything like that. This one was over.
Let's take a peek at the first knockdown. This was, as you said, Sam, the first good left hook that Tyson landed. He dips under, throws this left hook. That's a nice move.
Is that a Joe Frazier left hook?
It really is. And you know what's so nice about that was the way, the old dipsy doodle. He went under and then came with a really good left hook. Now here's where he had Kennedy against the ropes. Mike Tyson is a terrific finisher. Keeps his hands moving. Those are good compact punches. Now, and Joe Cortez steps in, and you have to like even what you saw in this short performance by Mike Tyson.
His fourth first-round knockout out of 7. Mike Tyson has won again. Here's the official time from Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Joe Cortez stops this bout at 1 minute and 5 seconds of the first round. For the winner, 7 in a row, 7 by KO, Mike Tyson.
We barely had time to tell you the story of Mike Tyson, just 19 years old, advised by Customato, born in Brooklyn, living in Catskill, New York, and what a promising heavyweight. 7-0 with 7 knockouts.
You were so patient when you got him in trouble, and you made every punch count.
Well, that's what basically me and my manager, Customato, was training on from the beginning. You don't have to throw a lot of punches, but every punch you throw, make sure it hurt him. Hit him in the right spot where he's vulnerable at. And that's what I was trying to place the punch. With every punch hit him, he'd be hurt at all times.
All right, let's take a look, Mike, at the first knockdown. When you hit him with that left hook, and boy, this was a beautiful move.
Boom, perfect timing. Usually I hit somebody like that, it was a little bit off balance because I try to graze his chin. When you graze the chin, it's like a home run. You hit a home run, you don't even feel it. And that's the punch that usually put him out permanently.
Well, now you did that, a great dipsy doodle move. You ducked under his jab and then came up with that left hook, and it was outstanding. And I know that's one of many, many things you've been working on. And even in this fight, in the short time, we could see your punches were so short and compact, they look great.
Well, as you know, I'm 19, and I'm just improving. That's not all I'm doing. There's a lot of other things that I could do very well. And as time comes and I'm learning in the learning stage as I am now, things are going as more and more as I like it to be.
It's difficult, isn't it? At 19, you have progressed well, certainly, and you have all this power. It's tough to know who you should be fighting right now. You're fighting journeyman heavyweights as you come up, which is appropriate, but there must be the temptation, I would think, to think, I can fight a better guy quicker than maybe you ought to.
Well, I'm good enough to fight some top fighters right now, but until my manager, Jimmy Jacobs and Bill Caton and Customato decide I should fight one of them, then I'd be happy to go along and fight anybody. But at the moment, I have to go. I'm not a fighter that's out. I'm not a freelance agent to say, well, I want to fight him. I got to go by the rules. And you know how the business is. You got a boss, too.
Okay, that's true. We all have bosses. Well, right now, you're the boss in this ring, that's for sure. Mike Tyson, a great performance.
Mike has an ability to slip punches that has not been seen in the heavyweight ranks or almost any other ranks since Muhammad Ali. It's been a long time. That's Muhammad Ali at his best when he was able to do that. In his later career, he wasn't able to. This is what he has. He's elusive, and he's a great boxer. People do not realize it. And that's what makes Mike Tyson so great, and potentially one of the great fighters of all time.
Mike Tyson's devastating punch distinguished him very quickly, and after 6 months on the professional stage, his record stood at 7 wins, all by knockout. The boxing world was watching. But was this just a boxer with an extraordinary punch, or was this the next boxing great? The Dynamite Kid's under pressure in the next Tyson Raw and Uncut.
Mike Tyson!
I believe he will be the youngest heavyweight champion of all time.
Introducing Mike Tyson!
6 months into Mike Tyson's professional career, and his reputation was growing, as was the issue of finding a boxer who could last more than a couple of rounds with the Iron Man. Manager Jimmy Jacobs designed Mike's busy schedule, but his devastating punch and hungry critics demanded a change in tactics. Fight number 8 was against a more experienced fighter called Michael Johnson.
Okay, we've got a fight coming up pretty soon here, a heavyweight fight. We've got Mike Tyson against Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson out of Florida with 12 wins and 5 losses, 8 by knockouts, is going to fight a very tough young man.
Yes, Mike Tyson, in my opinion, the most exciting young heavyweight in boxing. He keeps punching, 7 wins, 7 knockouts, no losses. Almost made the 1984 Olympic team at the age of 17. He's 19 now, and if you haven't seen him fight, you're in for a treat.
And he's also built like a bull. He's only 6 foot tall, but he's built. He's got a back that looks like a brick wall.
6 foot tall and 6 foot wide.
And Steve was able to talk to him a little bit earlier today, along with his manager. So let's take a look at that interview. Steve with Mike Tyson.
Steve Farhood with undefeated heavyweight Mike Tyson, 7-0, 7 knockouts, and his co-manager Jimmy Jacobs. Mike, so far the record is perfect. Do you think what you need right now is a good, tough distance fight?
Well, no, because as I look at it, the point, and as everything's going now, I'm confident. I'm getting more belief from the fights going to 1 round or 2 rounds, whatever they're going. Don't matter who it is. If the round happens to go 10 rounds, which I doubt, because as long as the fight goes, I become more hungrier, and I dwell on the heat, everything, and I feel great on a fight. Maybe if I fight somebody and the fight goes 10 rounds, the outcome for the opponent would be even worse than a 1-round knockout.
Okay. Co-manager Jim Jacobs, you must be pleased with Mike's development so far. You have one of boxing's most exciting young fighters.
Well, it's true, Steve, but one of the problems that we have, Bill Caton and I, managing Mike, is that when you manage a fighter who's a devastating puncher, you cannot really calculatingly plan for a fight to go 8 rounds or 10 rounds, because Mike punches so hard that eventually the fighter goes out very early, which is a disadvantage for Mike because he doesn't get the rounds of fighting that you people would call experience.
Right. Okay. Mike, tonight you're fighting a fighter 196 pounds. You came in, I believe, your career high in terms of weight. He's really a cruiserweight. Is this something you're working on for speed?
Nothing at all. Again, you're asking the wrong person, because I didn't pick the opponent. You have to talk to Jim Jacobs. But as of the fight and everything, I'm looking at him just another passing point to the title. Whoever's in the way, I don't care who they are at the moment. They're just, people might say opponents, but as I say, I'm just going through them because this is for real, and Mike Tyson's for real.
Okay, Mike Tyson, Jim Jacobs, thank you both very much and good luck.
Thank you.
And back here at the Atlantis Casino Hotel, Mike Forrest with Steve Farhood, and I got to tell you, I just spent an entire day with heavyweight champ Larry Holmes about a week ago, and Mike Tyson sounds just like him. But let's go up to Stefan Harari for the official announcement of this bout.
It's in the heavyweight division. Our referee for this fight is Frank Cappuccino. First in the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with the red trim, weighing in at 196 pounds. His record is 12 wins, 5 losses. 8 of those wins by knockout. From Florida, please welcome Michael Jack Johnson. And his opponent in the red corner, wearing the white trunks with the green trim. Undefeated with 7 wins, all of them by knockout. Hails from the Catskills in New York. Please welcome, weighing 219.5 pounds, Mike Tyson.
Well, I was about to say, when Stefan Harari made the announcement, Mike Tyson really vocally sounds just like Larry Holmes. I mean, I thought I was back in Easton, Pennsylvania talking to the champ.
He does sound like him.
Unbelievable.
He's meaner, though.
Is he meaner?
Look at the size of him. He looks like the Incredible Hulk. He really does.
In that case, I'm glad I'm not Michael Jack Johnson.
Yeah,
Round number 1, scheduled 6, but hold on to your hats. Nobody thinks it's going to go that far. Oh, there he goes. He's just going to pull his way in. Those rights to the body. Left jab, right to the heart.
Quickly want to point out, first fight for Michael Jack Johnson in 2 years.
I'm glad you pointed it out because down he goes. The left hook just buried him, dug him in the ribs.
I think it was a
Michael
left and a right.
Johnson went goodbye. That left hook just caught him and sent him right to the canvas.
23-pound weight advantage,
my goodness.
and he put it all there.
The right to the head, and it's all over. Goodbye.
I hope he's not hurt because that was a brutal, wide-open punch.
He did not have his guard up, and Mike Tyson just Michael Jack Johnson, a big smile, but he didn't even break a sweat.
He may have to run around on the boardwalk a little bit to get his night's work in.
Just to kind of wind down. You know, these fighters get geared up for these fights, and what's he going to do after a couple of seconds work?
He may take on the house. It was a right hand. It was a right hand right there. No, we didn't see it yet. I'm sorry. Here it comes.
There's the left
hook. There's the hook to the body.
And
he missed the right. Yeah.
It was just the left hook, and he has so much power in that left. I mean, that's the kind that breaks ribs, folks.
That was a left hook to the liver.
Oh, my goodness. And look at that, man. That's Michael Jack Johnson flat on the canvas. The ring doctor kneeling over him as Mike Tyson has the gloves cut off. I don't even know why he bothered putting them on. Okay, Mike Tyson with the gloves off. Michael Jack Johnson got up off the canvas.
One right hand. He didn't wait for an invitation. Here it comes. Whoa.
I'll tell you, Michael Jack Johnson earned his money the hard way tonight.
Well, there's not much to say about that knockout except to watch it.
I think, as a matter of fact, that was such a fantastic finish. By the way, there's Michael Jack Johnson getting up, and I think my friend Steve Farhood is going to get up into the ring, and we're going to have him talk to Mike Tyson as soon as he can get in there. Look at Michael Jack Johnson. He's still hurting. That jaw might be broken. That jaw may very well be broken. There's the scene in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Frank Cappuccino stops this bout. Actually, it wasn't stopped. It's by knockout at 39 seconds of the first round. The winner, and still undefeated, with 8 knockouts, 8 wins, from the Catskills, New York, Mike Tyson.
Unbelievable.
Tyson. Another nice round of applause, please, for Michael Jack Johnson.
And there's your winner. All by knockouts, all 8 victories. You heard it, 39 seconds of round number 1. The man, in the truest sense, is an animal, but we say that in a positive way as it refers to almost any athlete. You say he's an animal, it's a very big compliment. There's your loser, Michael Jack Johnson, still sitting down. The ring doctor will not allow him up until he's sure he's okay. He took a brutal shot to the face. A fantastic right hand by Mike Tyson, who is going to go a long way because he is strong. He is like a bull. And Steve Farhood is getting prepared to talk to the winner. As you look at the loser, still wondering where he is. Look at him. He still looks a little bit woozy. I wonder if his jaw did get broken. That was a tremendous shot he took. There's your winner again. As Steve Farhood is now in the ring, and he'll be talking with the winner right now, Mike Tyson, and his manager, Jimmy Jacobs. Take it, Steve.
Steve Farhood with the winner, Mike Tyson, manager Jimmy Jacobs. Mike, the first knockdown, left hook to the body, you saw an opening?
No, I was practicing mostly on the punching to the body. In this fight, I was very relaxed and very calm, and I plan on staying that way for all my fights in the present. And as you're saying, when I caught him with the left hook, I heard him grunt, and I thought come back real fast, and that was the game plan.
The right hand after that, you didn't wait for an invitation, went right at him.
Not at all. It's my style. You make your own opening. You time things. Everything was set up. When he went down the first time, I knew what was going to hit him, and that's how he planned. To be a pro fighter, I'm the master of the pinpoint. My shots are so accurate and so precise, not to be egotistic, but when they land, they're so precise, I just can't help it who you are. You have to go down, because it's a law when Mike Tyson hits you.
Any heavyweight was going to go down from that right hand the way you hit him.
I believe so also. And I'd like to thank my manager right here, Jim Jacobs, for giving me the opportunity to fight with Jeff Levine.
Okay, let's bring Jim in here. Jim.
Hi, Steve.
Is he going to knock out everybody?
Well, we have a marvelous problem, Steve, as I told you before the fight. The marvelous problem is that it's very difficult with a kid who throws hydrogen bombs to get him experience. I mean, everyone states, well, why don't you get him fights where he'll go 7, 8, 10 rounds? The problem, which appears to be insurmountable, is that he is one of the most devastating punchers that I've seen in the last 10 years. And that's a problem. Nobody can take his punches. So until we can get someone who can go 5, 6, 7 rounds, it's going to continue to be a problem, lovely problem.
He proved the devastation tonight. It must be very hard also to get sparring partners.
It's extremely difficult to get sparring partners, but even more difficult now. Mike has only had 8 fights, but the word is out, and that is that every punch he throws is a knockout punch. I mean, the punches you saw tonight could knock out any heavyweight in the world. And it's a problem. He's a young 19-year-old boy with amazing talent, amazing punching ability, and we're going to have to struggle through.
Any timetable we can talk about at this point?
He's going to be moved up to 8-round fights, if you want to call them 8-round fights, at the end of this month. But it really doesn't matter whether you schedule a fight for 8 rounds or 20 rounds. You saw the type of punches that he throws, and it's a question of who can survive that type of punching. I don't know of any heavyweight who can take those kind of punches.
Jimmy, thank you. Mike, congratulations, the first-round knockout winner. And back to Mike Forrest at ringside.
Thank you, Steve. Devastating puncher, Mike Tyson. Let's take a look at the first knockdown. This is the knockout. I'm sorry, because I just saw Frank Cappuccino step out of the way, and I'm glad he did, because if he had gotten in the way of that, oh, my goodness. Oh, good night. Good night, Irene. The party's over for Mike Jack Johnson.
Tyson's ninth fight was against Donnie Long, a.k.a. the Master of Disaster, who had a good record and was the first opponent who was expected to cause Tyson problems. This was a step up for Mike, a step away from the comfort zone, and was exactly what the critics demanded.
Well, the heavyweights are ready to step back into the ring. Undefeated Mike Tyson out of Catskill, New York, against always dangerous Donnie Long. Tyson has been touted as one of the outstanding heavyweights coming down the pipe, and Al Bernstein takes a close look at him.
At 19 years of age, heavyweight Mike Tyson is hard to ignore. Even if you don't think his abilities match his hype, he's quite a specimen. We saw him score one of his 8 knockouts over John Alderson in July. And it was a big right hand that did the job after the usual Tyson pressure attack. Lorenzo Kennedy felt the sting in August when a half-hook, half-jab sent him down. When Mike gets a fighter in trouble, he's a finisher, and Kennedy couldn't stand up to his assault. But tonight, the opposition is much tougher. Donnie Long. Does Tyson think it's his hardest test?
I look at him as a good fighter, as I look at most of my opponents were good fighters. But if I happen to knock out Donnie Long in like 1 round or 2 rounds, will he still be considered the toughest opponent that I fought?
What about the fact that he's got more experience than you at this point? Does that disturb you at all, or is it something you think you can cope with in the ring?
Well, most definitely I could cope with. I wouldn't be in there fighting him if I didn't think so and my managers didn't think so. But besides the point, I think fights are in there to be won, and you're not in the basis to go in there and say, well, I participated, I was here, I was on television. And if you go in there with that attitude, I think you're in the wrong business. And these fights are meant to be won. I think you should win as many of them as possible.
Well, Mike Tyson, just as we saw earlier with Bert Cooper, hasn't gone long in 5 of his 8 knockouts here, Al. And only 3 opponents have been able to get by that first round.
He goes out quickly. We've seen that every time. And again, the key question, what if Donnie Long takes him a little longer into the fight? We'll see.
Well, Donnie Long is a rather interesting story. He did not fight at all in 1984. He's had 2 impressive fights in 1985. And I'll ask him, going up against Mike Tyson, if indeed he'd be ready with this outstanding youngster.
I'm in good shape. I feel sharp, and I feel like I can outbox Tyson.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. You felt that Tillman in the Olympic trials outboxed Tyson, used his lateral movement and good jab, and those are skills you have, but you can punch also.
Yes. I plan on boxing Tyson, too. I think that I can box as good as he can, and I keep him in the middle of the ring, and I can punch if not better than Tyson.
Will this be a win that puts Donnie Long back into the heavyweight picture?
This will be a win to let everybody know that Donnie Long is back.
Well, 8 previous opponents thought that they were the toughest for Mike Tyson. Donnie Long may well be. Let's meet him officially. Here's ring announcer Michael Buffer.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we stay in the heavyweight division. Man your battle stations. This is going to be a good one, scheduled for 6 rounds. The referee for this bout is Frank Cappuccino. Introducing first in the red corner. He's wearing the red trunks with gold trim and weighs 215 3/4 pounds from Youngstown, Ohio. His professional record, an excellent one. 15 wins, 3 losses, 10 by knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, Donnie, the master of disaster, Long. And his opponent in the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with green trim, weighing 215 3/4 pounds also. He's from Catskill, New York. Undefeated in 8 consecutive bouts, all knockout victories. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Tyson.
Interesting enough, both fighters weighed identical, 215 3/4 today.
Good evening, gentlemen. You both received your instructions in the dressing room. I want a good, clean, hard fight. Both his touch gloves. Good luck to both of you.
Again, Donnie Long out of the ring, but he's returned for 2 fights. The last August 27th, a knockout of Frank Draper, second straight knockout in '85. And Tyson with 8 consecutive knockouts, put down Michael Johnson 39 seconds into the first round, his 5th first-round knockout in his 8 professional fights. Again, Tyson in the white, in the red and the gold is Donnie Long, and Tyson goes right at him with the left hand.
Mike Tyson has enormous strength, and that's what he will try and test Donnie Long with. Long himself can punch pretty good. He's got some power, but the key for Long, I think, in his fight is to counterpunch well against Tyson, hit him as he's coming in.
Tyson again, another one of those fresh youngsters, only 19 years of age. Long is 27.
Oh, wow.
My.
Well, that was quick.
Tyson putting him down here early in the first. Frank Cappuccino looking on closely. You see Long holding those gloves up to say he's all right, but is he? Here comes Tyson. Left hand again.
Well, he nearly sent Long out of the ring with that left hook.
Tyson. Oh, Long is down. Second time. Another knockdown.
There is no 3 knockdown rule, but the referee can stop it after 3 if he decides so. This is very impressive. Mike Tyson not expected to come out this strong against Long.
5 of 8 have fallen in the first. Is it 6 of 9 as Tyson comes out with a strong right hand barrage again?
This is as bad as I've ever seen Donnie Long look, but give Tyson credit. That's it. Wow.
The left hand puts him down. He collapses, and this one is over as the doctors rush into the ring.
Make no mistake about it. That was a good performance. Not just because of what he did, as you look at Donnie Long and he's talking to the doctor, we certainly hope he's okay, but because he did it against a fighter who, even though he's not what he was 2 years ago, is still should be more than a journeyman heavyweight. Boy, he's strong. That young man is strong, and for Donnie Long, he felt the effects of that strength.
You know, it was interesting to see Long when he thought he was going to get up and then just kind of crumple down again. We had fear for the injury for Long, but you can see he's up, and Tyson's celebrating here, and Long is up. And now the celebration can go as we take a look again at a disastrous first round for Donnie Long, a big one for Mike Tyson.
Donnie Long came out with the hopes of boxing Tyson, but there, Tyson gets in with a very good left hook on which he had great leverage and hurt Long. I think Long didn't expect that he would be able to be hurt. This is a man, remember, that went 10 with James Broad, 10 with John Tate. Couldn't go even 2 with that man, Mike Tyson.
Well, Kevin Rooney looking on. Manager Jim Jacobs out in the crowd. Mark Loransky also there as young Mike Tyson has put away Donnie Long in the first.
The end of the fight. That left hand, such a short left hand, but delivered really well by Tyson. And they've been working to shorten his punches, and it has been effective.
Well, I know there's a guy smiling out there, Gus Diamata, 77-year-old trainer of Mike Tyson. And let's officially get the time of another first-round knockout for Tyson. Here's Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's the official time. 1 minute, 28 seconds of the first round. 9 consecutive knockouts, 9 consecutive victories. The winner by knockout, Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson with another knockout. Again, his 6th in 9 professional fights. A knockout in the first round. Top Rank Boxing, and one of the bright new stars is Mike Tyson. He visits with Al Bernstein.
Well, Mike Tyson is indeed turning into a bright new star in the heavyweight division. Earlier in the day, I really thought that Donnie Long would be a fairly tough opponent for you. He wasn't.
Well, like I told you earlier today, if I knock him out in 1 or 2 rounds, would you still consider him that?
Well, I thought he was supposed to be, but I guess he wasn't.
Oh, now he wasn't. He was.
No, he was a tough man. I'm just saying for you he wasn't tough, apparently, because you beat him.
Well, first of all, I'd like to just thank Cus for putting in all the hard work and reaching me to the goal that we're trying to approve right now. And I'd like to say hello to all my family back home and to once more my dearest friend, Rory Holloway, back in Albany, New York. And now on the question, I knew from the beginning, but everybody else knew that it was no comp. It was no comp. Let's like the rest of it. A lot of people came to look. Jesse Ferguson came to look. The Fraziers came to look.
James Broad was out there.
All of you come get some, because Mike Tyson's out here. He's waiting for you. All come get some.
All right, well, let's see what you did give to Donnie Long. We'll take a look at the first left hook, Mike, that you knocked him down with. Take a peek at it.
Everything was timed. I saw, I put my jab out. He had a good jab, so I said, I'm going to time him. Boom. He wasn't even respecting because I saw the right hand keep coming down. And I was very calm and relaxed.
Now, his plan, I think, as it is for most people that fight you, is they want to try and box and stay on the outside and jab you and counterpunch you. But you are very hard, apparently, to counterpunch as you come in. Why do you feel that's so?
Because I put so much training and effort into evading punches. As anyone say, as Henry Tillman said in the article, some derogatory things about I'm going to do it, I don't think or move my head. As anybody can see, I'm almost a master at invading the punches coming at me. If anybody saw all of my fights, I don't get hit. I yet to have a bloody nose. I never had marks on my face. And as everybody say, it's hard because I'm a counterpuncher myself, but I just do it with a lot of aggression.
That's something obviously you and Kevin Rooney also work on a lot, the evading of punches and the defense as you come in, because you know you're an aggressive fighter, and so guys are going to try and counterpunch as you come in.
That is so, but anybody that wants to stay in the business for a long period of time like myself, I plan on staying in boxing. I would like to box for at least a good 20 years because I love the game. And to be in this game for 20 years, you can't be in there and you can't take a lot of punches.
It's a long time, 20 years.
True, but I'd like to finish a career with 20 years.
Okay, he is young, that's true. What's next for you, do you think, in terms of your level of what you want to see?
Well, as I was saying, I can't really tell you at this point, but it was supposed to be for 8 rounds. I was supposed to start fight 8 rounds, but for some unknowable reason, it came to 6 rounds. But I was prepared. I was ready for 10 rounds. I trained for 10 rounds, all my fights, and I'd like to thank James Broad a great deal for training with me. It helped a great deal. And like I said, whatever my managers decide, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm going to do my business. They're going to do their business, and our goal is going to be a far-gone conclusion.
All right, you took care of business tonight. Congratulations, Mike.
Thank you very much.
What a phenomenon Mike Tyson was. 19-year-old, 20-year-old boy, the youngest man to ever become champ of the world. He hit guys and knocked them unconscious, not unlike Joe Louis and George Foreman. And he had hand speed like a Muhammad Ali, and he'd move around. He's going to be remembered for a long time.
Mike Tyson's fights were turning into a battle of quality versus quantity. He needed more experience before he faced the top heavyweights, but everybody so far had failed to challenge him. Tyson's extraordinary journey continues in the next episode of Tyson, Raw and Uncut.
Mike Tyson!
I believe he will be the youngest heavyweight champion of all time.
Introducing Mike Tyson!
I want a good, clean, hard fight.
8 months into Mike Tyson's professional career, and he'd knocked out 9 opponents with the kind of ease that had not been seen for a long time. The 19-year-old prodigy was being closely watched. Outside of the ring, the likes of Don King were seeing the dollar signs. Inside the ring, the oblivious youngster was being celebrated 1 minute for his phenomenal punch and questioned the next for not going the full distance. Tyson's 10th fight was against Big Bob Calais.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 8 rounds, and it's in a heavyweight division. In the ring at this time, the man in charge of the scheduled 8-round heavyweight bout, referee Teddy Pick. And now, boxing fans, introducing the principals. First, in the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with the blue trim. He tipped in at 224 1/4 pounds. This gentleman hails from the boxing capital of the world of Atlantic City, New Jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome aboard Big Bob Calais. And his opponent in the red corner, wearing the blue trunks with the white and red trim. He weighed in at an even 217 pounds. This young man hails from Catskill, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Mike Tyson.
Got your instructions in the dressing room. I want you to obey my rules, my commands at all times. Is that understood? Shake hands, give me a clean fight.
Referee Ted Pick sending both boys back to their corners. A good clean fight, that is what we hope to see. Mike Tyson, undefeated in his 10th professional fight against Robert Calais, coming off a win in his last fight. Already we can see Tyson giving away height this time. We've seen him give away weight before. This time he gives away height. He's giving away weight as well, about 7 pounds to Calais. Tyson 5'10". Calais, well, a good 6'3". Left hook, good night. What a great shot. There's a mandatory 8. They keep wheeling him out. He keeps knocking him over. Well, that has got to be one of the quickest. Tyson, a little, well, almost apologetic tap on Colais's chest. Thank you very much. That's all she wrote. And this man, well, okay, look at the stats. 10 fights, 10 wins, 7 inside the first round. And this is how he did it. Measured him up. Missed with that, not with that. And really, Calais was out, as the old story goes, before he hits the canvas. Tyson, impassive. Kevin Rooney cutting the gloves off. Is it getting a bit too easy for Mike Tyson? Well, you do start to wonder maybe, don't you? There's a very fine line between building up a young fighter's confidence, which is what Customato and the camp are trying to do. There's a big difference between that and feeding him pushovers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time of this bout, 37 seconds of the first round, and a winner by a knockout for his 10th straight win in his many pro bouts, Mike Tyson. Tyson, maestro, please.
Thank you very much. So, as the man said, 10 fights, 10 wins. They keep putting them in front of him. He keeps knocking them over. But as I say, 1 or 2 at ringside might start, if you look at the papers, they might start to question the caliber of the opponent that Tyson has been facing. Maybe someone a little bit more testing. Fight number 11 for Mike Tyson, Sterling Benjamin. The opponent, Tyson, in the dark blue trunks with the white trim. Sterling Benjamin in the red. Last fight, Atlantic City, bit of a come down now. We're in Latham, New York State. We're in round 1, Tyson's 11th fight. 10 wins, 7 inside round 1. Did I say 7? Make that 8, perhaps, in Fight number 11, the count is 5. And Sterling Benjamin just beats the count. On they go. Is he going to make the belt? Somehow, you know, I just kind of doubt it. There's only so much punishment anybody can take. That is the limit of Sterling Benjamin's endurance. The referee was just about to step in anyway.
I was a little leery. I knew I was in there with a good fighter that went the distance with some good fighters, and I was planning on just putting the pressure on him from the beginning to the end. I planned on coming out with a jab because I watched him in the DeWitt fight, and he was countering with the right hand good. And coming in the first round, I got grades with the right hand, and from then on, I know to slip my head and just keep coming forward.
As for Benjamin, well, he was thoroughly impressed.
He have a sledgehammer, man. You know, when I go down there, I feel it. He really hit hard. It's the hardest I ever been hit.
It is the hardest here.
The hardest of my whole career, man.
They keep lining him up, and Kid Catskill keeps knocking him down, and there'll be no let-up for Mike Tyson either.
He goes to Houston on the 13th. He's going to fight some Texas champ, and I think the guy's Richardson is his name. I don't know anything about him. They're supposed to have a film. But again, as long as Mike can hit them, if he hits them clean, they're going to go.
So Mike Tyson continues to be a very busy man, but it's getting harder and harder now to find anybody who wants anything to do with him. I mean, no fighter wants to get run over by a truck.